Welcome, Glenn. All right, I think we can get started. It looks like we have everybody. So,
We have Glenn in with us now, huh?
yep.
Good.
And welcome, Miriam. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, everyone.
Good evening, all. Welcome to the ZBA agenda scheduled for October 8th. I am Andrew McNichols, staff planner, so thank you all again for joining us this evening. I just want to take a quick second to introduce the ZBA members. We have Chairman Bob Redfern, Nick Pernice, Jamie Mon, Hillary Mative, and new member, thank you for joining us, Cindy Hartman. So I'm just going to quickly explain Zoom. I think we've all been here before, but we ask that you mute yourself if you don't have anything to say at the moment. And then when you do have something to say, please use the raise hand feature and I can call you out. If it is your first time talking, please introduce yourself so we know who's talking, and we should be ready to roll. So with that, I'll share the agenda on screen and pass it off to Bob.
Yeah. I guess we'll get going then, Andrew. Appreciate the introduction. What we have on the agenda tonight is a continuation of case number 20-09, 146 Summer Avenue. And the applicant is looking for a special permit under Reading bylaws section 7.0, 7.3, 7.32 to construct a roof deck and a footbridge to an existing non-conforming dwelling located on the property at 146 Summer Avenue. This is a continuation of a meeting that was originally opened, I believe, August, I have it here, August 5th, 2020. And that was continued to September, and at that meeting, it was continued to tonight's date. So this is the second continuation of it on that. We do have the applicant with us tonight, and if the applicant, I would like to give him or them a chance to speak and tell us if there is any new developments in this property. And then the board will weigh in individually, and we will give our thoughts on the case. Thank you.
Thanks. I'll take a moment to speak a little bit about the project. So most of us are pretty familiar with the project at this point, but I'll just do a little recap. I noticed that we have the new member here tonight, so hi. My name is Miriam. I work for Garrick Santa Landscape Company. We're working with the homeowners at 146 Summer Ave to install the footbridge and garage roof deck on the property. So to recap, there's precedence for this project, as there used to be the same kind of footbridge and roof deck in the same location as we're proposing, but it was removed due to deterioration over time. Our first step was to go before the Historic District Commission, and we got our design and materials approved by them since they match the style and the feel of the historic home, and we'll transform the garage, which was built in a different style, to match the house better. We then went through the process of speaking to several structural engineers, making sure that the garage was safe to build on, and everything is good to go. Today we met with Mr. Redmond there at the home, and he agreed that the garage looks good for that project. So yeah, we're asking you to consider granting us a special permit to build the roof deck and the footbridge, and that's what we're here in front of the ZBA to do, is to look at this project that we're proposing. And you'll remember there was some confusion with the previously installed hot tub, but I'd like to clarify that this is a separate project, and that we are taking steps to resolve that issue. We want to make sure that everything is done properly, and we will continue to work towards that, but this is separate from that. And so we ask you to please set aside those concerns as we are trying to resolve them and look at the project at hand.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Before I go to the board members, I would like to ask Glenn. Glenn, if you have anything to add to this, or anything you would like to report to the board, I appreciate it.
I met with the property owners this morning around 11 o'clock. I viewed the property. My purpose was to make sure that the garage structure itself was adequate or strong enough to support the proposal of the deck, which it is an older building, but it is in good shape. So there's no problems with that. We did discuss the problem of the zoning violation of the jacuzzi being straddles the property line, and that currently causes a zoning violation which may prohibit the issuance of another permit at that property. That I talked to town council a few days ago. He's going to look into the matter to see if the zoning violation in fact will prohibit the issuance of a building permit, but we don't have a definitive answer at this time. So I guess here we are.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you, Glenn. And I know we did receive correspondence from town council regarding the issue here, and with the zoning violation, etc. And I believe to be concise and to word it, I hope I'm not stepping on town council's toes at all. But I believe basically what the town council said is, we do not have to wait to make a decision as a board because of the existing zoning violation. We can go right ahead and decide one way or another what's going to happen here, or how we want to vote on this. So I think that's basically it, if I'm not mistaken. Andrew,
No, that's
Glenn, is that?
That is correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. So
Okay, I appreciate it. I will go through the board members then and see if you want to add anything, and then I would. I think personally, I think we've continued this twice already, and I think we should proceed and somehow take care of this issue tonight. Take care of this case, voting on it, or whether the applicant maybe decides to withdraw without prejudice until they get the zoning violation taken care of, and then maybe reapply again. It's up to the applicant in that particular case. But I will go with Nick. Nick, if you have any comments at this time.
Yeah, sure. I agree with your assessment from council. I think our core function is to determine if this is any more detrimental to the neighborhood. So going on that, yeah, I definitely feel comfortable voting with all this extra stuff going on. But I'm trying to figure out what exactly has changed since the last meeting, aside from getting some clarification on our vote. To me, this still seems like a case where there was once a it's a non-conforming use that was demolished, and once a non-conforming use is changed to a conforming use, it may not revert back to a non-conforming use. And the fact that I believe it's been over 10 years without the roof deck is another thing that's going on my head, because then it's almost gained legal status where nothing has been there 10 years. So it's not even like you got rid of a non-conforming use. It's almost like there wasn't a roof deck, in my opinion. It's been so long without it. So that's in the back of my head. Whether, again, still a variance or a special permit, I'm comfortable voting it as a special permit. But even with a special permit, it talks about extending or altering a use. And I don't even see this as an extension of a non-conforming use. I see it as an addition. You're adding, you're extending a non-conforming use. So that's my comments right now at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. I will ask Hillary, would you like to comment on this?
So reviewing and spending time in the neighborhood, I feel that it is not detrimental to the neighborhood to allow this deck to continue or to be approved.
Okay, thank you, Hillary. James, if you would like to comment on this, be happy to listen to you.
Thank you. I tried to follow the email chain, and I'm not sure I followed it accurately. Maybe Andrew or Glenn can help me out, but I thought that email chain said that if there was a 5-foot setback, that it wasn't a non-conforming use. Didn't
I don't think the use requires a variance. A deck isn't, a principal or an accessory use per se in the table, so it's really is just a residential structure. I believe the email chain somewhat clarified that a special permit was preferred and needed.
So so I was wrong. It didn't, the email chain, the argument was not made that since the setback was at least 5 feet, then no special permit or variance was required. Am I wrong then? Did I misread that?
I believe so. I believe town council and felt that a special permit was still required.
Then what was that discussion of the 5-foot setback?
So I believe that was the prior building commissioner and the applicant's attorney who argued that a special permit was not needed. And then the prior building commissioner went to town council who agreed that a special permit was needed. So, sorry, I know it was different colors and a lot of back and forth, but.
So what is the setback here? Is the prescribed setback 10 feet?
I believe so. I'd have to go back to the email chain.
Glenn, if you maybe would want to weigh in this, I look at it and it, because this is a corner lot too, what is the rear property line? I would have to say the rear property line is the what would it be? The northeasterly end of the property. Even though that could be some people could look at that and say, well, that's a side property line of Glen Road and not Summer Avenue. But since the house faces Summer Avenue, I would call that northeast property line the rear property line. I don't know, Glenn, if you would want to comment on that. That's the way I look at it.
Right, right. The address of the property is Summer Ave.
Right.
And that's the front yard requirement would be along Summer Ave. Opposite that would be the rear yard, which you're calling the northeast
Right.
side.
Right.
Okay,
right.
his my concern or my issue is the 5-foot setback is the requirement for a detached accessory structure or garage, or a jacuzzi or something similar to that. That has to be a minimum of 5 feet from the property line when it's detached. So once we attach a structure to the house, like by means of this breezeway or footbridge, I've always interpreted that as being part of the principal dwelling. And in the past, we would never allow that to happen unless you met the rear yard setback of 20 feet.
Exactly.
So
If I may,
there's a recent, I think there was a recent bylaw change that mentions if the accessory structure should be 10 feet minimum from the principal structure. In this case, it's only 9 feet. That's what's making this non-conforming. The 8-foot conforms to the 5-foot setback. The 9-foot does not conform to the current requirement of 10 foot between accessory structures and principal dwellings.
right, so then the garage is then technically considered part of the principal dwelling in this case, since it is less than 10 feet.
That's the way I understand it.
Yeah, and that's the way I understand it too. So I think I understand it. Thank you for the clarification. I had hoped we could hear from some abutters or other neighbors, but in the absence of any statements from other abutters or neighbors, I would tend to agree with Hillary that this would not be detrimental to the neighborhood. It's not increasing the footprint on the lot. And I think probably more importantly, it is not at all affecting the historical qualities and ambiance of the property, whereas an alternative deck might compromise the historical integrity. So absence of any statements by neighbors or abutters, I would say that this is not detrimental and would tend to support the proposal.
Okay. Thank you, Jamie. And our newest member tonight, Cindy, obviously she did not sit in on other meetings, so she will not be voting tonight. And but Cindy, I don't know if you have any comments or if you feel like you want to comment at all, feel free to. And if not, that's acceptable too.
I don't really, I didn't contemplate this with a vote in mind, so I'm just observing
Right.
at this point. So I don't really have anything to add, no.
Okay, well, thank you, Cindy. Okay, I will comment on it in my feelings on this. To me, the construction of a recreational deck, and that's what we're looking at, whether it would be by itself or whether it's on top of the roof of a garage. It is 8 feet from a property line on on two sides of the deck. I feel that to me it's a serious improvision on the abutting properties. And I also feel then that constitutes a substantial detriment to the neighborhood. And I would not be in favor of a special permit to put a roof deck on top of that garage as shown on the plans. So that's my feelings on it. And in this particular case, you're going to need a unanimous vote, or the applicant is going to be needing a unanimous vote of the board tonight in order to obtain a special permit on this. It would have to be 4-0-0. So now that the abutter is aware of that, he's aware of the situation that they're in. I will go back to the abutter, see what they would like to do. And if they would like, we will proceed with the vote tonight. And if not, I would say I would not be in favor of either a continuation on this. I think we should get this off our plate tonight and deal with it. And so I would say you have two options. Either we vote tonight or else you can withdraw without prejudice.
Excuse me, Bob, could I ask another question?
Yes.
If I understand our prior discussion, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, the applicant could build a detached structure that was a deck or a gazebo 5 feet from the property line, and that would be allowable. And to me, that would be more detrimental to the neighborhood than what they're proposing. And then the other question is, I just wonder if there are any members of the public that have any thoughts or questions or comments.
Well, I'll put it this way, Jamie. We're not taking into consideration of something that may be or could be or what is. We're voting on what's in front of us tonight on a plan. And second of all, if I'm not mistaken, if you brought a deck out there and constructed a deck, that is a structure. I don't know, Glenn, would a deck out there, a standalone deck, be considered an accessory structure?
Yes.
And
Yes,
it could be built 5 feet away from the property line then?
yes.
Okay.
If it's detached from the principal
If it's
structure.
detached, right. But in this particular case, number one, it's considered attached to the principal structure because it is connected with a wood walkway from the principal structure. And number two, from the zoning bylaw, I forget exactly what section it is now, or we've discussed it before, but if a garage, which we're talking where we're going to build a roof deck on, is within 10 feet or less of the principal building, it is considered attached. It is considered as part of the principal building. So in this particular case, what they're doing, it's considered part of the principal building. And so consequently, I think anything constructed further, could be expanded upon, but that's what they're looking for, a special permit to do this. And in my opinion, I think building a roof deck of 20 feet by 24 feet, over 400 square foot roof deck, 8 feet from abutting properties, I consider a detriment to the neighborhood. Okay, Jamie?
Yes, thank you. I just on
Yeah.
that particular point disagree, but certainly I understand
Right.
your logic.
So right now, then I would turn this over to the applicant or the applicant's representative if they would like to
Did we just open to public comment real quick?
open
Bob?
it up to public comment. Sure thing, Andrew.
I don't see any hands raised or any chat features. So it looks like we can close.
Okay, thank you. So would the applicant or their representative like to speak right now?
Yes, so I think, considering the general feelings of the group, we would like to withdraw without prejudice. At this time, we're not going to move forward with the vote.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you all for your time.
Okay, and at this time, I will accept a motion from the board to honor the applicant's request to withdraw without prejudice. The
So
applicant.
move.
So moved by Jamie. Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second it. It's Hillary.
Okay, thank you, Hillary. All those in favor, we'll do a roll call. Nick?
Yes.
Okay, Hillary?
Yes.
Okay, James?
Yes.
And myself, yes. So the motion passes and the applicant has withdrawn his request for a special permit in case number, let's see, 20-09 to withdraw without a prejudice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Done. And Jamie, since you made the motion, can you write that up, that withdrawal?
Sure.
Okay.
Andrew, if you have an example of another withdrawal, I'd
Yep,
appreciate
I
it.
can send you a template.
I think
Just thank Mark.
Andrew might have something, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other business tonight, Andrew?
We don't. I can give you some quick planning updates.
Okay,
We did have a public meeting with Weston and Green International, not Weston and Central, Green International Associates, who worked on a conceptual corridor analysis and came up with some conceptual redesigns and thoughts on some key intersections in town, such as, you'll remember the Eaton Lakeview 40B, this kind of came out of. So they looked at the Walkersbrook Drive corridor and specifically the Lakeview Ave exit and the John Street exit, as well as the entrance into Market Basket and Home Depot and others. They looked at the Ash Street intersection at Main Street, which, as we all might know, is a pretty bad intersection. So they came up with some thoughts on that, and that's all online at the website if you do wish to check it out, and potentially at a future select board meeting as well.
What's the website?
It's on the town planning page. You'll see it on the left-hand column, the comprehensive corridor analysis, it should be called, and the plans are there and everything. If you need more info, just let me know. We are also moving forward with our open space and recreation plan. A survey should be coming out in about a week or so. You might see that posted or in the paper. So if you can take the survey, please do. We'd love as much feedback as possible, and that goes to all the listeners as well. I think that just about does it for me. So again, welcome Cindy. And if you need anything like a copy of the bylaw or any notes or anything, just shoot me an email and I'm happy to get those to you. So
I already printed out.
I did have a question, if I might. I think when I looked at the select board's packets and the town manager's goals, I thought I saw that one of the goals and one of the things in process, or at least anticipated, was a revision and some update to the bylaws and the zoning bylaws. Is that correct, Andrew?
So we haven't fully started. We just started a discussion this last hearing, CPDC hearing, about looking to somehow formalize temporary uses going forward into next year, such as outdoor dining or outdoor sales in a parking lot, on a private lot. We're looking to kind of get that a formalized process so that any applicant wishing to do that next year, COVID or not, that they have the ability to. So we're hoping to line that up for April 21 town meeting. It might be a minor site plan review or a minor modification process, but that'll give us some flexibility. So that's what we're hoping to line up.
Is there a more general review or a revision of the zoning bylaws?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, Andrew, let me ask a question. Right, it's not a question. Next meeting, zoning board, October 29th, is it not?
We are actually going to hold it on the 22nd.
Oh, now it's,
Sorry,
Okay.
we're moving it back. We asked and not everyone was available, so we
Okay.
there's
Okay.
some Zoom controversy and as well as some
Can,
on the 29th, some
just so we have as Jamie alludes to an email chain here, can you send that out to the members, the change back now to the October 22nd, you said?
Yes, I can shoot an email
Be
for
good.
that.
And from what I gather and what I've seen advertised so far, we just have one case then on
One
that
case.
night?
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
And so we should be getting a packet on that then within
got
the
it.
next week or so, huh?
Yep. Probably next Wednesday, most likely.
Sounds
Can
good.
you tell us what the dates are for the rest of the year so that it's getting confusing?
I can. Sorry, I know we've had a lot of change. Let me just pull this up, and I can also. So we are looking at October 22nd, Thursday, October 22nd, Thursday, November 5th, if there is an application, Thursday, November 19th,
Which is the same date as a potential town meeting.
yes, I believe that is correct. I have that flagged.
Okay.
We are looking at December 3rd. That can't be right. December 3rd. I believe December 5th is what we are looking at as well.
December 5th is a Saturday.
Oh, sorry. It is December 3rd. Sorry, I was looking at November. So December 3rd.
Yeah,
What
generally what we like is the first and the third
Yeah.
Thursdays of the month is what we've been meeting.
Yeah.
Unless we have nothing to discuss or nothing is on and then it's canceled. But
Right. And I expect that to continue into 2021. It sounds like Thursdays will be the day.
Okay, so if there's no further comments, no further discussions tonight, I would accept a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll move.
Okay, thank you, Cindy. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Hillary, thank you. All those in favor? Nick? Aye. Aye. Aye.
Thank you,
Okay.
guys. Good to see you
Unanimous.
and have a good weekend.
Okay, thank you so much, Andrew.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Nice seeing you all.
Nice to
Okay.
meet
You as well, Cindy.